Instagrammable. So yeah, so I'm the owner and the operator of the staging place. And as a professional stager and redesigner, I have the privilege of beautifying homes to prepare them for the market or for people to actually have a space that is functional and that they fall in love, that they love. Am I on the right thing? Okay, good, thank you. So one of the things that, as a stager and as a designer, you really need to think about not only the space that you're in to make it beautiful, but also that it shows amazing online. And as you know, Airbnb is an online platform, so having those spaces pop out and stand against the competition is really important. So as Calvin and Adrian were saying that there are amazing Airbnbs around the world. And Alberta has some, but not as many. Yeah, so do we agree? Well, other countries have amazing places, but so does Alberta. And no disrespect to our beautiful Edmonton, because I love Edmonton. It doesn't offer unbeatable locations like maybe Europe does, but we can make it work as well here in Edmonton. And as a world traveler, you could say that there are excellent Airbnbs, but there are some that are not as great. And having somebody sleep in a closet, that's really not cool. So today I want to talk about a concept that has been going around in the interior design world and in the staging world, which is making your spaces Instagrammable. So we all know that professional photography is amazing, that we need to have photos of our spaces and it needs to look great. But making them Instagrammable is an extra layer to that. And that means a call to action for engagement with whatever's in that property. So tonight I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that, but also the things that you can think about as you're designing an Instagrammable space. Any questions? Any hurrahs? Yay! Okay, I want to show you some love, please. All right, so the next thing is, what is an Insta-worthy space? So I'm sure that all of you have walked into a space that, immediately as you walk in, you pull out your phones and you say, oh my God, this is amazing. How many of you have done that? Yeah? Okay, and why do you do that? Anybody know? What makes it Insta-worthy? Is it beautiful? It's unique? Yeah.
The concept?
Yeah. It's colorful. It's welcoming. But then it has a place for me to be in it or for you to be in it, right? So what makes it amazing is all the things that we can say. So I asked a lot of the social media managers, and they said that an Insta-worthy space is something that inspires people, something that helps them imagine themselves in a place that is not their normal life. Okay? So when it comes to making your space, oops, okay, you told me not to do that. Okay, over this back. Okay. Okay. So when it comes to creating an Insta-worthy space, you really need to think about things like, what color am I going to use? What prop am I going to use? And I see this beautiful chair that James is on, and he has been invited because of its uniqueness to sit on it, right? He's the king of the show, so he gets that special chair. So one of the things that makes these places likable and also shareable is that they offer unique things, like Shauna said. So when it comes to sharing things on social media, what do you think that's going to do to your business? It's going to boost it up. So do we want people to engage with our spaces? Do we want them sharing on social media? Absolutely. So imagine what would happen if half of the people shared your space and engaged with it as they come into your properties. it would immediately make your business grow. So, these things don't happen by design. They don't happen by fluke. That you walk into these spaces and you're wowed immediately. They happen by design, and they happen by intentional design. And what I mean by that is that you don't only, when you're in an Airbnb, you obviously worry about hospitality, that they have all the things. But when you think of a place like Disney World, you're getting great hospitality? Absolutely. But what do people want to come to Disney World for? The decor, the environment. Even though we're not going to create a world-class thing like Disney World, we need to learn from those concepts and apply them in a smaller scale to our units. And one of the things that I want you to think about is, first of all, who are you in your units? Because if you don't know the target audience, and you create something like world-class like Disney World, and you have a bunch of business people, are you going to be successful even though you went through all that effort? Probably not. So really understanding who is staying in your units is super important. The next thing is, what do they do in your units? Do they sit and relax? Do they eat? Do they not? Do they, call for skip the dishes and then they just leave them plates? So that's really important to know as well. So what you put in those units and how you make them functional is really important. The other thing that you need to consider is the type of furniture, the type of colors that you're going to use, because all of these things make a difference to the people that are going to be in that space. And the third thing that you really need to consider is, does it identify your brand? Because this is a business. So a business must have a brand. And because you are doing a brand, you must think of this as your marketing strategy, right? So if you have guests that are business travelers, well maybe, and they're mostly male, well guess what? Maybe just minimalist stuff would work. Or maybe creating a man cave would work, I don't know. It depends on who you're hosting. Now, if you have, let's say, pet-friendly units, well, maybe having a little corner for the furry friends will work. So you need to think about all those things. But then also, you need to think about the fact that is my space functional right now, if you already have it? Because I have been to places where I'm going to do meal prep, and I need knives, and the knives are on the other side of the kitchen. And I have to rearrange everything to be able to cook. So you need to make sure that even though the space looks great, it's also functional. So make note of things that are happening in your units. Are people rearranging the furniture because they want to watch TV and it's in the wrong place? Right? So you want to make sure that everything in your unit is stress-free for your guests. Okay? Alright, so how do interiors designers create unique vibes, right? They actually rely on three main techniques. And the first thing is color. And I know that there's a lot of theories out there, and mostly it comes from the staging world, that you always have to go neutral. That is so not true. Color makes the world go round. Faces, you can play around with color. So that's the first thing. And colors create moods. Colors can allow you to sleep better, or not. Colors can entice hunger, or not. That's why restaurants are all red, right? They also use themes. And this is something that's becoming more and more popular as we go forward. And I just recently pulled up a themed Airbnb in California, and it's a Barbie theme, right? Whose little girl would not want to go to a Barbie themed Airbnb? Unfortunately, Canada is a little behind on that, but it is the new trend that you theme your units to whatever liking of your target audience. The last thing is they use storytelling. All of our homes have a story to tell. If you walk into your grandma's home, is there a story told in that home? Yes, the stories about when you were little, stories about when they went traveling. And so interior designers use storytelling to create spaces as well. They use, wandering travel, feeding that travel wanderlust that we all have, or they tell inspiring stories through word art. So storytelling can also be something that you can rely on to be able to design your property. Okay, so now we're going to talk about a little bit of the design elements that you need to think about. So I was talking a little bit about color already, and one of the things that I see most people make mistakes on is that they say, oh my God, now gray is in right now, and I have to have my property in gray. Well, unfortunately, it's not that easy to just say I want a gray colored wall. Really, there are determiners in your different properties that will dictate basically the color schemes that will go well with a property or not. Some properties call for cool colors, so those are all your blues, your grays, your blues, your greens, your purples, and those are mostly used in bedrooms, right? Because they remind you of water and they remind you of grass, so they're relaxing. When we walk into restaurants, usually you have warm colors because they are welcoming and they're vibrant, they're fun and cheerful. And then when you go into millennial homes, when you go into kids' rooms, when you go into rec rooms, you have bulldog colors like pure yellows and blues and reds. And then neutrals, well, they, for me, are the backdrops of most of the properties, but really, when you don't know how to play with neutrals, properties really lack character because they're meant to be nothing. Neutrals are colors that really do not inspire anything, that's why they're neutral. Okay, they're not happy, they're not calming, so you need to really know what colors will work best with your property. So, talking about the bigger pieces, so we're going to talk about furniture. And when we talk about furniture, we really need to know how long you want to keep this property. How is it being used? If you have people that just come and most of what they do is just sleep in your unit, well, spend your biggest money on a really great bed because that's what most of your people are going to be doing. But if they sit and they sleep and they dine, well, guess what? Then you need good quality furniture in those areas. However, it doesn't have to be everlasting. Because one of the things that's happening, just like with Airbnb, furniture and design trends are changing greatly everywhere. And now, the turnaround rate of a particular type of furniture is about 5 years. As a stager, that's a really big turnaround because we have to be changing stuff all the time to make it trendy. So one of the things that I would suggest that you do because of this changing is consider buying things that are durable yet not everlasting so that your money goes wisely. But also consider furnitures that can have different functions, like futons, for example, that can be turned into an extra bed. However, they offer a little bit of lounging space in your units. Now, futons are really fun because they come in all great shapes, and it's a place where you can actually create an Instagrammable space with. All right. So the next thing that I want to share with you guys is lighting. Lighting is probably one of the most important things that you need to look for in your unit. What are the trends right now in most of the new built homes? Huge windows, lots of bright light, but not all homes offer that. So if you are in a home where natural lighting is not available, well, you need to go around and see where are the poor lit areas of this room. I need to add some lighting to that. Lighting fixtures also give character to a room. So you want to find not like cookie cutter lighting. You want to make a statement with the lighting, especially in the dining and the living room areas and the bedroom. So lighting fixtures can add that designer touch without actually breaking the bank. Intensity of the lighting. If you have people that just come home or come to your unit to rest in the evening, they don't want to have bright lights like they've had in the office all day. Make sure that you offer dimmers so that they're able to create the intensity of lighting that they want to be able to relax, but also to create cool effects for Instagrammable moments. And you'll see them moving up and down the lights to be able to get that intensity that they want for their photos. And the last thing is to create visual effects with your lighting. Let's say you have a great piece of art and you want to highlight that art when you're in that room. Well, use your lighting to create a spotlight for that particular feature that you're wanting to highlight in your room. The next thing is all the things that are eye-catching. I guess art is an amazing way to give character to a room. Don't be afraid to use art and use overly sized art. Right now the trends are for you to use really big art and then just have one piece. Here you can see that this is like an art wall where a bunch of them are put together. However, they make a really large piece of art if you look at the combination of all of them. How about mirrors? Well, mirrors are a great way to make rooms look larger. And it also provides a space where people can actually look at themselves as they're walking out the door. Or there's a shirt, inside out. So please remember that these people actually have things to do while they're on holiday, and a full-length mirror is really important. And then feature walls. Well, feature walls can be created pretty much with anything. The first thing that I could think about is paint. Just painting it in 2 shades darker than your neutral walls or that your walls are, or just go totally bold and make a statement with a unique feature wall covered in potentially a customized wallpaper, or even adding a unique piece that your woodworking friend has made for you. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, it just needs to be unique. And I've already talked about art walls. And then use stylish decor. So the decor is probably going to be the thing that you probably spend the least money on. You can get great decor that is super inexpensive, that looks great. At HomeSense, on Amazon, on Wayfair, there is no need whatsoever to spend money on decor. However, what I'm going to suggest is that you choose the right sizing. And the right sizing, by that I mean that nothing that you buy for your Airbnb should be under the size of a cantaloupe. Because if not, spaces will clutter. It's better, just like ours, to have one big statement piece than a bunch of little ones put together. Don't, undermine books and magazines. Books and magazines are amazing, and this is wrong, but that's okay. So, books and magazines are things that we can use to create interest, and a great made in the corner. And they can be used as pops of colors, like you see here. They can be used as decor, and they can also be used to give height to different decor pieces. But what I like about magazines, and even local magazines, is that you can provide information about your area and the things that are going on in those reading corners through those little reading little things that you can have. And one of the Airbnbs that I was in the States, the people that owned the Airbnb actually had partnerships with different local vendors, and they actually had like coupons for you to use in those particular places. And again, don't forget plants. Plants are really important. They add height, they add balance, and they add texture to the different places in your property. You can also use flowers. Flowers should be part of your design. Even if you're male, flowers give a beautiful color and a beautiful texture to your units, as well as branches and just regular florals. Third thing, make sure that your Airbnb smells fresh and clean, because you can have all the beautiful furniture, all the beautiful Instagrammable place, and if your place reeks, it's not going to get great reviews. So make sure that it smells fresh, that it looks clean, especially in the washroom, in the beds, and on the floor. You'd be amazed at the things that you find in carpets, so make sure that you're really, really tearing out those things that can give odors, especially old pillows, old beddings. Those things can create an odor over time, so it's really good that you concentrate on making them fresh. Some hosts choose to go with aromatherapy or candles. Just make sure that you are sensitive to people who are allergic or can have sensitivity to strong scents. The fourth thing, make sure that there's hanging space in your units. I've seen a lot of places that I go to and then I get 2 hangers. And oh, for God's sake, we need to have our clothes, especially if you have business people that need to take out their suits. Make sure that you have enough hanging space for those elements. So, those are the design elements that we need to consider. So now where do I start? And one of the coolest things about design is that you always start with the end in mind. Where do you think, as soon as somebody walks into a unit, where do they go? To the washroom, exactly. So where is your first impression in that property? In the washroom, correct? So, create a spa-like, luxurious looking bathroom experience. So how do you create that? Well, the first thing is ultra clean white towels. There's nothing that says cleanliness as a white towel. And there's nothing that says cleanliness more than actually being able to clean around your toilet base. Right? That's where people go looking. Like I go into a washroom, it's like, oh my God, can I actually use this washer? And the look that you want is that you're the first person that's going to use that washroom ever. That's the level of cleanliness that you want. Alright? Then, you can buy, if you're going to provide a toiletries, great. But if you have like a bathtub, make sure that you add candles, that you add little water plants maybe, or some plants. And then just add little knickknacks that are cheap and look expensive at Home Sense. Okay? The next thing is create a luxurious, cozy sleeping quarter. Well, what does that mean? Well, creating layers with your different beddings, having white bedding, having white sheets to create cleanliness. And remember, there's nothing that bleach can't get out of white. Not the same thing with darker colored towels. And remember, if there's a towel that's stained by something that you can't get out, make sure that your next guest doesn't use it. Okay, so the next thing is create layers and textures so that it invites you to actually want to sleep in it. And not just kind of like, oh my God, can I sleep on it? We recently had a hotel experience that we had to walk out of because the place just didn't look clean and I didn't feel comfortable staying in. So make sure that your sleeping quarters they look amazing. One of the places that you want to make Instagrammable is your sleeping quarters because they really, that's where a lot of the people are going to spend their time. And you want to create like a focal point in your bedroom where the bed is at. Okay? Functional eating and meal prep areas. I kind of alluded to this a little bit before, but make sure that there's enough seating for everyone that's going to be in that unit. If you have a unit that offers 12 beds, make sure there are 12 chairs for people to eat together, and make sure that you organize your kitchen in a way that makes sense as to how they're going to use it. The next thing is, if you're marketing for business people and you say, oh, it's a great place to work, make sure that there's a workspace. Because a lot of people that use Airbnb, they actually go online and they use their laptop and they use their iPad. So make sure that there's a place for them to do that. The next thing is the most important place and the most Instagrammable place that you need to create. And that's all the social pieces in your unit, especially the living room. So, here is where you really need to figure out what you're going to do to create that engagement and call to action to take photos and for them to post. So, you can use inspiring things. Maybe one of the things that you can do is put a frame around maybe a shelving unit. And that says, here, post this or post your best photo of you in this space on Instagram, right? And then the last thing is use professional photography. I think I always preach on this because I don't know why people do themselves a disservice by not using professional photography. I know that our cameras take great photos. We all are aspiring photographers, I know that. But there's nothing better than actually having professional photography that showcases all the amenities in your property. If you offer Netflix, well, turn on the TV and show that there's Netflix. If you have a great, amazing coffee corner, well, feature that in some of your photos. Make sure that there's enough photos of your property, because I saw, I don't know how many Airbnb, I guess, units that only offer 2 or 3 properties. And I'm going, what does the rest of the property look like? Right, so make sure that there are enough photos and you take pictures of all the amenities. So, as a last thought, well, now your place looks amazing, smells amazing, it's super clean, you're going to wow them with your hospitality. How about you run an Instagram contest in your place? Ask people to, share a post and give them some kind of freebie. Maybe a night. Well, they may not come back ever to your unit. How about a free night? Just by having them post and the person that is there, one person will win a free night. Or give them a freebie, or give them a coupon, or whatever it is that you think that you can do. So when it comes to branding, you can use a hashtag for your unit that they can post to and use while they're there. Alright, so that's all for me. I really do thank you for your time. And if you're looking for inspiration for your units, you can always find me on Instagram, and Facebook. So if you're looking for inspiration, follow me. And I look forward to answering any questions or helping you out